Okay, I'm back. Stephen Key here, and during this video I want to talk about some of the industries that it's really a challenge to license your ideas into. And I'm also going to talk about some of the industries which are just on fire and they're looking for ideas. But there are a few industries that are just tough to license ideas. The first one is the food and beverage industry. I know there's a lot of people out there that you have some family recipe, or maybe you have a new idea for a new beverage and you're really excited about it. And you're calling me all the time saying, hey Steve, how do I license this recipe? I'm here to tell you, number one, it's not easy, but there's some things you can do. Most companies don't license formulations or recipes. Number one, you can't protect it with the patent. The only way to protect it is with an NDA, right? And treat it as a trade secret. That's the best way to protect your recipe or your formulation. So right away that gets a little tricky because there's no real ownership unless it's treated as a trade secret. But you can do that, and those are very, very important. The trick here is to, and this is what the companies want. They want sales. They don't want just a recipe of your grandmother or your family. They want to see sales. They want you out there selling it, and you created a brand. That way they can come back, take that brand, buy it from you, and use their distribution to sell it to everybody. So they're not really looking to license a recipe, but you can do something a little bit different. If you have a new delivery system, if you have a new package, or if you have a new process in which a beverage or some type of food item will be distributed in, sold in, packaged in, yes, that can be licensed. And we're going to show you a few examples here. Number one, this is fishbone packaging. This is something I'm involved in. It eliminates the plastic rings. We've also had another student that licensed the process to make smoked eggs, and James is going to show you that up on the screen as well. But overall, licensing a recipe, as I first started out, is not easy to do. It needs to be treated as a trade secret, or your delivery system has to be a little bit different. Maybe your process has some intellectual property, or like I said, your packaging. But that's tough. That's a tough industry. Okay, the second industry that's hard to license an idea is the apparel industry. And the reason why, it's a fashion industry. Things move extremely quick. And in the past, companies have been stealing, borrowing, I don't care what you call it, other people's designs. It just happens all the time. So that industry is not really inventor friendly. If you have some functional something on a piece of clothing that actually has utility, it has some functionality, maybe a new zipper, maybe a new closure. A great example would be Velcro. Then yes, of course, you could patent that and probably get some intellectual property on that and probably license that. But it has to have some type of functionality, some type of perceived ownership. But overall, the apparel industry is a tough industry to license ideas in. Okay, number three, the packaging industry. That's an industry I absolutely love. And the reason why I love it so much is that the numbers are huge, but it's a tough industry. If you don't have any type of background in manufacturing or in materials, and if you're not really from the packaging industry, it's really hard to invent for the industry an idea that can actually be manufactured, because everything runs at very high speeds, it's very low cost, and it just takes a lot of time and effort. I have a couple things I have licensed over the years. One of them is the Spinformation. James, you can show it up here with the Alex Trebek.
Sundown Herbals presents its remarkable Twist and Learn label. It works like an herbal information center that helps you learn about herbs simply by turning the label. Sundown's new Twist and Learn label, where to turn for help.
And here's another one. I've got another team of inventors I'm working with. It's called Fishbone Packaging. You can see it here. And And of course, I am working with some other people now in the other inventors that are not in the packaging industry, but they have great ideas. But it's an industry, it's not for the beginners. It's not for people that are just starting out. It's a tough industry. It takes a lot longer than you think it does, but the numbers are huge. And that's the reason why I personally like the packaging industry, but it's not for everybody. Number 4. How many people have a new app? How many people contact me all the time? Steve, I got this great new software idea. It's a new app. I want to license it. Oh, jeez. It's hard. And the reason why it's really hard, this is an industry that does borrow from each other. It's an industry that's kind of like the fashion industry. Things move extremely fast, and it's really hard to protect because most of it is code. This industry really likes for the inventor to be a startup company in which you have eyeballs, in which you have sales, and they can take that and they can blow it up for you. But I don't see a lot of software ideas that get licensed unless you've done a lot of work, unless you're really a startup and you're in business. But just to pitch an app idea to a company, I think it's tough. I think it can be done, but it's tough because it's hard to protect and they want to see the eyeballs. All right, number 5, the medical industry. This is an industry that you can license your product ideas in. But basically, please, this is kind of a warning. If you have some medical device that requires some type of regulations from the government, that's time consuming and can be expensive. What you want to do, if you have a medical device that doesn't require any type of regulations, yes, you can license those ideas. In fact, you'll see one up here. James is going to put on, I think it's called Fasciderm. Here's one that's been licensed. I think it's over 25,000 stores, which is fantastic. Here's another one. It's a medical device that two very smart dentists, orthodontists came up with. I think it's called the Aligner. Very smart idea, and they did license that as well. So yes, you can, but realize if it requires some regulations, if it requires some type of FDA approval, that's a long and expensive route to take. Can be done, but it's going to be painful. Okay, number 6. This is an industry that we're seeing a lot of ideas, especially during COVID. Fitness. A lot of products coming out now are from home fitness, but typically this industry, if you've got some type of device where you're going to, it's going to allow you to be more fit, something you can do at home, yes, you can. But just realize a lot of these companies that are looking at these home fitness products really want some type of testing, which I don't think that's that hard, or maybe a couple testimonials, or maybe you have a little bit of proof that it actually works. Okay, if you can supply that, you've got a better chance. But realize this is not, I would say, not the easiest industry to license ideas. You can, but there's a few big major players, and they're not that inventor friendly. You can, takes a little bit of time, but just realize, they're going to want some type of proof of concept that it actually gets the results you're claiming. So if you have that, and plus testimonials, give it a shot. Okay, automotive, I think this is number 7. Okay, I think the automotive industry is a tough industry. You can do it. We have had people license ideas that were accessories, aftermarket. Yes, that's easy. You'll see James Sanchez, he's got a it's called Defense Tag Defense. Smart idea. You'll see another one called GripGo. These are car accessories. Yes, you can license those ideas. But if you have some idea that you're thinking that you're going to have on every truck or car, that's a little bit difficult. Have we seen it done before? Yes, we have. It's just that you're dealing with really big companies. You're definitely going to have intellectual property, probably more than one patent, and it's a tough game. We've seen it done before. We've had a student that licensed an idea, but it's not for the beginner, and you need intellectual property that has been issued, but you can do it. It is tough. Okay, number 8, the promotional industry. I love the promotional industry. I started out in that industry. It's those little free things that you get maybe in cereal, maybe when you go to a restaurant, or maybe even go to a trade show and they give you a little premium, some type of promotional thing that you can put your logo on. I love this industry, but realize you have to come up with an idea that's not too new. It has to be an idea that's a variation on an idea that's already been out there, a small improvement that requires no education. And the reason why, the premium industry, the promotional industry, is really selling products that people know, and they think there's value there. So if you have a new gadget or some type of new promotional item, it's not easy to do because it requires some education. But if you're making a small improvement on an idea that's already been out there and it does not require education, then you can. But be careful. This industry is a little tough, and you're definitely going to need some perceived ownership. I believe it's selling first, selling fast, because they do copy each other. Okay, those are just a few of the industries. It's just tough to license your product ideas to. But in this next video I'm going to show you some of those industries that are hungry for ideas from you. So stay tuned, and please subscribe down below.